Yay!
We're live.
Hello, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Our
Sorry,
man,
guys, I was being a mess and I forgot about the time, and that's why we were a little late.
and I've been preening myself in the mirror because I've got a spot come on the bridge of my nose at the top,
Right
and
there. Yeah,
it's.
I get him there as well. It's an annoying spot,
I'm
isn't it?
51 years old. I ain't 18 anymore.
Yeah, like will this ever end? No.
No, no. Right then. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Tonight we're going to talk about. We've had to change the wording, but you'll kind of get the gist anyway. We're going to talk about decks that we've bought, maybe on a whim, maybe purposely bought them, and then it's not our style of artwork or anything, and then we've absolutely fell in love with them.
Yeah,
Um, and
I have so many.
well, I've only got like one, two, three, four, five because of the time factor. But like, I mean, there is a couple here that like people will think, Martin, what the fuck? But it is completely out my kind of not what I'd normally buy. But there you go. So, we've been waiting to do this for a while. We did something similar on Instagram a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but it was
Um,
a bit more unfriendly.
yeah, it's a bit more unfriendly, and we've grown up a bit since then.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
grown up a bit. It didn't land that well either, because we have a very specific. You and I have a very specific type of humor, but sometimes it doesn't go over that well with most people, just us. So
yeah, well, some people get us and some people don't. Well, one thing, one thing, one deck I've got right, and I had this deck years ago. And it was either done by a completely camp middle-aged man or an old lady who was really very badly using Photoshop, right? And this is right. This is you've seen this before, Levi, but I could never ever part with it. I everybody, and this is it's got the ugly branding on the back as well, of course. And this is Tarot of the Lotus Circle, right? This is just the most fabulous deck. Now, this was obviously meant for divination and no kind of inner work at all. It's a divination deck, even though it's still structured exactly the same as tarot. Right now, let me show you some of the cards. Right now, let me show you some. Well, first of all, we've got the Ten of Pentacles there. You've got these children in this card, and probably about 40 now. Right, so you've got the Ten of Pentacles there, a lady lying on the sun lounger, of course. Right.
I have seen this. Yeah,
But you know what? I've had it years and I could never part with it because it is a totally workable deck. I mean, look at this. I mean, this how staged is this card? The Five of Cups. Look at her face.
yeah, I get the appeal. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's very like, I mean, look at that. It's like an advertisement of the telly.
yeah, is she holding money?
She's holding money, yeah.
It's like one of those QVC girls.
Like a game show. Tara, look at this for sale, the Five of Coins, and it looks like this chavvy bloke. But it's actually an American creator. I got the book as well. The book's really good. But this, I don't know whether I've never seen this anywhere ever on
No.
anybody's feed. And it would be Judge Judy in the younger days. It would
You
obviously be like
It's
a
so
deck.
it's so honestly, I mean, I would never buy this, but it's really endearing. Oh yes, that's super camp. I love that.
Camp. And it is like, I can't live. I must have had this deck 20 odd years or something like that.
What did
And
you
it's
say it was called? Tarot of a Lotus Garden?
Tarot of the Lotus Circle.
Lotus.
Lotus Circle Tarot.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Tarot of the Lotus Circle kit.
So if anybody knows, like, if you can get this deck still, please look at that. It's very Muriel's wedding, right?
It's no longer available on Amazon.com. So it looks like you can get the paperback, the book for 99.95. So this is very much out of print, and it's from 2007. Wow.
2007. I thought I'd had it longer than that.
It's
So
been,
something
well,
like 15 years. Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
honestly, a lot of the decks that I have are from that era as well, and
I
so
absolutely love them. I just think there's something. I Gerald, Alex and Sandra and Sylvain. Oh, Sylvain. The deck's called Lotus Circle Tarot. Uh, Camp.
but it's
Right.
super out of print. So
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that.
no.
And like, I think that a lot of the older decks are very endearing. And they kind of remind you of a time when,
It's I remember that time very well because I was blissfully unaware of all the decks that were out there, and then I remember going into a metaphysical store with my mom. She got me a deck there, a Marseille deck, which I wasn't too pleased with at the time. I didn't even know she'd gotten it there because I was blissfully unaware. It was a present for, a Santa Claus present or something like that. But I remember knowing only the Marseille, the Rider Waite, and not that much the Thoth. I remember seeing all these types of decks on the shelf and being
yeah,
completely wowed by them because they were so bright, colorful. The image quality was so sharp. It was something new at the time, like
it was. And I think, I have noticed like a lot of people still do use the older, not like people like us and like somebody who really
I
doesn't
do.
care as much. Especially like the non-English speaking countries I've noticed use the older decks, and you can tell that they've been well loved and well used. And I think that's really, really lovely because most of mine, even though they're really old, some of them are still absolutely pristine condition.
Yeah, it's funny actually. Most of the Netherlands was completely unaware of, for example, the whole Doreen Virtue situation because they were still being sold by the pound, literally, in every fucking metaphysical store. And it wasn't until like a year ago that the Dutch publisher made an announcement that they would be doing one more print run, a small print run, and that it would be over. And that's so it wasn't until a year ago that the whole Dutch metaphysical world was in uproar about the whole Doreen situation. No one even knew.
I think I first had my first Doreen deck about 1999, 2000. Um, yeah,
Um,
so about 20.
this actually fits in perfectly.
That was the first one I ever had.
This is probably my favorite Doreen deck I own. I got this for super cheap. This is back when Hay House still had stapled booklets.
Yeah, yeah, which was good at the time.
Yeah, it was really good. The book, everything was glossy because we liked everything to be glossy back then. Nowadays, it's
Yeah,
all about matte. And yeah, she put a lot of work into this guidebook too. Let's see how many. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight spreads in here.
yeah, it's a lot different. She never had it with, well, she did have it at one point, I suppose, Robin, but I think everybody's kind of over her, ain't they? Long gone.
Well, I always hated them, but I kind of get the appeal now, especially when you
Yeah,
look at it through that
I do as
lens.
well because she had little or zero to do with the decks anyway, the same as anybody else who kind of works for. Yeah,
Don't say that. Don't say that. We were
saying that.
gonna play nice,
I
but
don't know.
speaking of little to no work, the people that did do a lot of work on this deck. Look at that gay as fuck Archangel Michael, though.
Oh, no, how fabulous. Looks like a Chippendale.
Fabulous. The people that did have a lot of work were the artists, because back in the day, Hay House wouldn't do this thing we do nowadays, where you have an artist, a writer, and they create a deck. They would just, have the author write a deck, sort of, and then commission like 44 different artists to do a
Yeah,
painting on commission basis usually, and they would just slap those onto the cards, do some really, really funny graphic design stuff to it. For example, every card has an image, and then we have two pieces of the main artwork sort of blown up here, and very often
Oh no,
the
it's cute. Got a little cat.
you have that little cat right there, but he's blown up a bit too much, so the image is all fuzzy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but it was of the time, and I mean, I think, as I said to you before, I think we all used, and because we hadn't got anything else to use, had we? And
I
I
mean, they
think
were really pretty and colorful and nice, and they gave good messages, and it was fun. And yeah, I don't know. I just really, and I still love this. My favorite one is, let's see if I can find her because she's absolutely fabulous. I love Isabella.
like there's of course there's an angel called fucking Isabella.
Of course. And my absolute favorite, I hope I can find it because it is just the best. Um, that artist only did one card in this deck. It's a pink card. You probably know which one it is, Martin.
I forgot.
Yes, this one. I love this one.
Oh,
Chantal.
I can't just Chantel straight from the council estate. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
of course she's all about romance. So I don't know. This is totally like not conventionally attractive for deck standards nowadays, but I love it. I
But
honestly
I
do.
don't think they have to. I mean, this next deck, right? I recently acquired this, and it is a brand new deck. And say what you will about it. And I absolutely despise the backs. I'll show you why I despise the backs. Simon's got this. And this is the obviously I don't need a book or a box to tell me what it is because it's on the back. This is John Richardson Mediumship Oracle cards. Um,
Oh,
these are, I swear, I'd take these on a desert island with me because they work, and they work really, really well. Because you've got cards like an over enlarged lady standing in front of a mansion, and the card's called Xanadu, right?
oh yeah, I've seen this
Yeah.
one before. This is fab.
And you've got Enigma and things like Persist, and all you've got is like 70 something cards with keywords on, no instruction booklet, no nothing, because you do not need anything, and they absolutely read like a dream. There might not be the best aesthetic artwork or anything like that. And as I said, I despise the backs as well, but you ain't reading with the backs, are you? You're reading with the fronts. So I absolutely, this is one of my desert island decks. Um,
It's actually a lot of fun. You know, these
it is.
decks, these mediumship sort of decks, what they are kind of trying to do very often, and I love that in a deck. I have the same experience with my what's that fractal art deck again? Return to Spirit or Return
Return to
from
Spirit,
Spirit.
yeah. I'll do,
You
Simon. It's just so lovely. Yeah,
you
Return.
get this you get this sort of idea where you know where it's literally training you to string sentences together into something meaningful using your intuition, and I love
That's
that.
it, and this is what these decks are all about. One word on and just a bit of artwork. No guidebook or anything. No clues, and these are also for divination work. And that'd be great for anybody trying to hone their intuition. Who's just said, no, this one isn't. I had this off eBay from the creator. No, you haven't, Tony. Not yet. You've just missed a couple of decks that we've showcased that we didn't think we'd like, but we do. I had this from the creator over at eBay, and I think it's about 20 quid. And it's well worth it.
Toadstool Tarot says, have you guys noticed more of an uptick in Oracle deck appreciation over the last couple of years versus Tarot? Actually, not.
No, I think it's
I
still
feel
the
like people
same.
hate Oracle decks, honestly.
Oh, that's a good one, Simon. Thanks, Simon. I'll do that. Start a tag, Marty. Okay. Hashtag Desert Island Decks. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. So feel free to join. And I do find, as we both said, like decks with minimal keywords on just the one keyword. And it's just great to kind of like, as you say, like you get your creative juices flowing, your
Yeah,
intuition. because there's no right or wrong way. I mean, nature, that obviously that means nature, and whatever you see in there. So yeah, what's your next one, Levi?
Um, let's see. Well, I have, but I'm not going to spend too much time on them because they are kind of similar aesthetically. But I had the other Radley Valentine Doreen tarot decks.
Oh, I like the fairy one anyway. It's got pictures of Glastonbury on it.
Yeah, it's really cool. This Archangel Power one is really camp because it has a lot of Hay House people in here, which is fun.
Oh no, but what put me off was the colours around the borders. That just didn't make sense to the suit
Yeah,
at all.
I should have gotten I should have brought the Dutch version of this down because that is completely borderless on that luscious matte
Yeah,
cardstock.
it's lovely. I remember you telling me about the card
But
the cards. Yeah,
but what I do like about any deck that has Radley Valentine involved is that there's always a plethora of sexy guys in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like so many hunky guys.
Is that the
Um,
two? Is that the two of? Because they actually
Cups.
changed that to a male couple, didn't they?
No, this is the Two of Wands, but they do have some like gay shit in here, which was of course kind of hidden, because at the
Yeah,
time it
yeah,
still was a
yeah.
bit. But you kind of get I get a lot of gay vibes from this deck, and I love it. All these hunky men,
I like
like.
it. I like it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think and it's of its time. And is it does it deserve an accolade of excellence? Not really,
No.
but it's so much fun. I don't know. I really enjoy these weird, funky, kind of maybe not prettiest ever decks. I enjoy them.
Well, you've just brought me perfectly onto my next deck, right? And I actually got this because of what the fuck's that? Can you hear that?
Someone calling you.
No.
Do do do.
It's on my iPad. Right, okay. Sorry, guys. This just brings me onto this next deck. Now, this is a guilty pleasure. You're probably all going to laugh at me now, but this is Sylvain's fault. And this is, I just love it
Oh
so.
yeah, fuck yeah! One of my
Honestly,
favorites.
this is one of my favorite decks, right? That I've had for the last 2-3 years. This is the Radley Valentine. Which one is it, Levi?
Guardian Angel
Guardian Angel
messages.
Messages. And I absolutely love it. It's just the same. It's just got a couple of keywords at the bottom. The artwork is all very self-explanatory as well. It's very kind of like, if you want to use that word, diverse. There's loads of different people in here. It's just lovely. I mean, you couldn't get a better camper card than an upside down angel as the hanged man.
Yeah,
It's just brilliant, and
this one is so much fun. Honestly,
it is, yeah. It's just lovely. It is my guilty pleasure. I mean, come on. It's just
and
bang.
there's always, like I said, always some hunky guys in there.
Me too, Simon. I absolutely did surprise myself, and so did Levi. I just think it's just the most endearing deck ever. That is
That
just
one.
gorgeous. It's just lovely. Sandra, you would love it. Honestly, it's well worth it. It's one of them
Yeah,
decks like you could just sit like a cozy autumn evening and just like look through the cards, and it's like a cozy comfort deck. Um, and this deserves more love. It's because the creators of AOS like Radley and everybody get bashed so much. But obviously Radley did the guidebook and not the artwork. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I love it so much.
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean,
I know.
there you kind of get the gist. Hot angels watching over me. Yes. You kind of get the gist. All the decks that we've chosen kind of have this sort of camp factor about them. So and
Like a
I,
camp, I don't know, like a camp comforting vibe to them. They're
yeah,
very non-threatening. they're all a bit of a no-brainer. You know, you ain't got to like trawl through a guidebook and learn hermeticism and stuff about the Golden Dawn. You know, it is what it is. You can read it straight out the box, and this is what I love about decks like this. They're super cool.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't really want to, like I said before in one of my videos, sometimes you really crave that gourmet restaurant experience, and
Yeah,
sometimes you just want a nice snack.
yeah, that's it. You want to put the
And
card down, three cards down, look at the picture, and think, "Oh, okay."
yeah,
You know, it doesn't.
and you
That's
know
what.
what's also funny? Whenever I do readings for people, they respond very well to the Angel decks. I've noticed.
I think people do, and I've noticed that the kind of like more what I have noticed on Instagram, I've noticed that the more mass market that the mass market decks get appreciated more because I think more people can afford the mass market decks.
Yeah.
And I've noticed there are a lot of people just exclusively use mass market, and that's fine. I've got no preference to either really.
No, sometimes with indie decks, especially with Oracle decks, and we're out here acting like we are completely unbiased, but we have said many times before, both you and me, that when it comes to Oracle decks, sometimes the indie decks can be a bit more original in their take on
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And I have to
But
kind of like work. There's got to be within Oracle deck. There has to be, unless it's a divination deck, there has to be a system running through it. As otherwise it
speaking of
becomes.
which,
Oh, my favorite as well. I've got that here. Look, I was going to get that as well. I love it so
I
much.
would honestly recommend this deck to anyone who kind
Everyone
of
who reads.
anyone who reads or wants to get into reading cards but is
Yeah,
intimidated by the tarot.
yeah, I do as well because this is Sandra and Tyler specifically says that you should use this for divination. And it's absolutely brilliant. I have gave some amazing readings with this. Um,
This
it's
is
just
probably this is probably one of Jenna Della Gratolia's first decks she illustrated. She is Colette Baron Reed's illustrator,
I
and
just love
um,
it. It's everything about it because like it's super usable for everyone for any question.
yeah, it's a lot of fun to work with. You can tell that she's a fab artist, but you can tell that she wasn't as skilled back then as she is now, which
Yeah,
makes it a
yeah.
bit rough around the edges sometimes, which I love.
I'll tell you what I do like about Sandra and Tyler's little guidebooks as well. She always gives categories for different meanings the card can relate to.
She is a Hay House author that puts a lot of effort into the
Yeah.
guidebooks.
Tony, this is the Energy Oracle card. I think you can still get it, but be careful though. There's shitloads of bootlegs going around to this.
Yeah, but you can still get this mass market. It's fun, it's affordable. I love also once again, and this may sound weird, and we can Martin and I can both be kind of fickle about it. But I saw this deck for the first time at my friend Malou's, and I was just blown away by the fact that this is an Oracle deck that has so many men in it.
It's just brilliant. I mean, Alex has just said this deck was always giving me a painful truth, honest as hell. Yeah, it is. It's just fab.
It's a well-written deck, honestly, and once again, like it's kind of campy, and I think it's really cute. And there's a lot of tarot card references in here. For
There
example,
is, yeah.
this one's very Ten of Cups.
Yeah. It is, and it's very kind of divination geared as well, and that's what I like about it because
Look,
really that's what people want to
sexy
do.
ripped Archangel Michael with shitty haircut. I
Well,
love
I'll
it.
be I'll be an Archangel Michael fan if he looked like that.
Right? He kind of looks like a chavvy lad from Essex, circa 2010.
Nobody I know looks like that from Essex, I'll tell you.
Well, you must have been to a different Essex then. Anyways, what's your next deck?
My next text on the Sandra and Tyler theme, right? We have got the Quantum Oracle, right?
Ooh, that
Now,
was the one she did after this one.
yeah. Now this is the follow up to it because she says. Now, what I love about this, she's put different categories in the cards. and there's a keyword at the bottom. The cardstock's lovely as well. So anybody who whinges about AO's cardstock, don't ask me why. There's nothing wrong with it. And she's put all positive
Well,
in. That's got victim mentality on it. I mean, and that one's got what a creative endeavor, taking steps. Obviously, that's me in that little bridesmaid frock, walking towards me palace. So you've got intention, events. I mean, the artwork, it is worried. I mean, this another one as well. This is like, I mean, this photo must have been straight out the 80s. First of all, the guy looks like a young Gerard Butler, and secondly, she looks like somebody out of Dynasty.
oh,
But
Dynasty. Ah,
Emma Sams, right? Yeah, yeah. So it is deception. So you can see in the cards, what's going on. It's just fab. It is what it is. And it's another
show us some
deck.
more cards. You're not showing us any cards. We want to see
Sacred
cards.
status quo. Some of them are upside down. So you've got happy success, family, sacred temple, gratitude, discovery. See,
I really like it.
it's cool. You can use it. As I said, it's another deck for really good readings when you want to read for somebody, get a message straight away. Um, so it's a good deck for kind of that thing. And you got another negative one there, dark thoughts. And it's not overly positive, and I
Yeah,
love it.
she puts a lot of balance in her decks. You know which one I really want to get? I'm actually going to order it now because I've been sitting on this forever. I really want to get her Akashic Tarot.
I got it. Come.
Yeah, do you have
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's fab.
Is it? Oh man, I'm going to order that right now.
It's
Can you
so
show
fab.
the people it, or is it difficult for you to find it?
No, I'll just go in the living room and get it. Hang on a second.
It's because that's another one. Oh, and Antoinette just said that she really likes the good tarot. I mean, I never really connected to it, but I think it's a good deck, honestly.
What? The Akashic?
No, the good tarot
Yeah, I
by
did Miranda Deny the Good Tarot. Yeah, that's another one. The Akashic Tarot, right? So you've got it's loosely based on tarot, but it's not. 62 card deck. It ain't really a tarot deck at all, but it is like loosely based on the tarot. So it's based on the Akashic record, really. So you've got cards like the Oracle of Delphi, and look, setting. What does that say? Setting your course. So you've got words on the bottom. So it's all kind of like, two worlds. It's lovely. Another one which Sandra and Tyler and the companions have put a lot of work into. I wouldn't say like it could be used as a tarot deck. It's
no.
more like an extensive oracle deck, but it really works as well. Especially if you're into the old kind of ascended masters, the Akashic records, things like that. It'd be really good because there is some angels on here, and you've got Saint Germain on here. Obviously, you've got Up in the Air, which is card 18. And you've got like kind of Egyptology on here as well with the architect.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
don't
good.
know. It's something. This is another very camp one, which I like, and I just ordered it.
It's another very endearing deck, and it is. And I think these decks have got a place in people's collections. It's always got to be about the dark and gothic and the £90 Kickstarter deck, has it? You can buy something.
Exactly.
What's your next
Exactly.
one? So I've got a really cool one to show in a minute.
This one.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Sacred Forest by Denise Lynn is honestly, I have, and I mean, like we said, we're not gonna slag off any creators, but I can be honest, and I'm not the biggest fan of Denise Lynn's decks in general.
yeah,
I think they are pretty bland and forgettable. But when once you kind of start, so that's why I never owned one. But once you get one and you start reading the guidebook and you read the keywords, it's very simple but very endearing,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So
It
it's
is.
very usable. It will have a weird title and then a very usable keyword at the top.
I love it too.
It's kind of got that same aesthetic as the energy oracle cards.
Yeah, It's fine. You can. It's another one you can use straight out the box. It's lovely.
Is that horror again asking for attention?
It's my pussy.
Martin's
Scream.
pussy is asking for attention again.
Of
Um,
course.
but this is, it is very camp. Is it the best, most original thing ever? No. Is it a huge comfort blanket for me ever since I got it from Martin? Yes, and it actually looks pretty damn cool. I mean, there are some cards in there where I'm kind of like, I mean, I want to say I can't, but I have another deck that literally is filled to the brim with those 3D CGI early 90s PlayStation
Yeah,
demo aesthetics.
nice though. Which is the Sacred Destiny Oracle? Tony's
That's by
just
her as well. You know, everything by her is
Oh
sacred.
yes, yes, yeah. Oh, no, I know which one you mean. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine. That one is. I love it, Levi, as well. That's another one that's just in front of me, actually. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, like let's see. Antoinette just said the guides, books is where the magic is. Well, with this one, I can definitely say it is. It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It's a really magical deck, and instead of spending $90 on an indie deck that you're probably not going to use as much as this, I would say maybe try this instead.
And that's it. And if you like kind of like knackered up or something, you can replace it with another copy for cheap, so it don't matter, does it?
Yeah.
Now, this next deck I've got is a self-published deck, and it's from Ireland, and it's from a guy called Tony Christie. And not the Tony Christie, is this the way to Amarillo, Tony Christie? Is I don't think it is anyway, it might be.
Might
Right?
be.
This is the Labyrinth Wisdom cards. Now, these have been in purgatory twice, right? And now what I've done, I've took them out, started to use them, and they are fab. And they are what they are, the same as any other Oracle deck. You've got Being on there, Simplicity, Life, and then you've got a little keyword and a lovely guidebook as well, actually. And this is another one that I find really, really endearing. Okay. It's not going to win any graphic design awards of the year, but there's nothing wrong with that, It
There's
works.
something really cute about this art, though.
Yeah, it really works. It centers everything around the labyrinth and what it means and stuff. And I absolutely love it. And I think it's only about £20 to buy from him directly. He's on no social media or anything. I don't know who he is actually. But I love it. I absolutely love it. You can like kind of get like lots from it, and it's another one that you can like kind of pull out and think, what, I'm going to use that deck today because it's really cute. Yeah, so that's the Labyrinth Wisdom cards by Tony Christie of Not This Is This the Way to Amarillo fame.
My next one is this. The magical.
Oh,
I'm going to have to turn on the lights here because
I've got to do that because it's gone dark.
it's gone a little bit dark. Hold up.
Hold up. I will give it a stroke. So yeah, that's another one. That's another one, Sandra, you might like. I'll send you a link later. It might have gone now.
So
Mad, is there a Schiffer deck?
yes, this is a Schiffer Red Feather deck. It's called Magical Dimensions by Lightstar. It has a new deck coming out. It was already due in May, but for some reason, I don't know, it's still not there. Lightstar is sort of a social media presence, and she does this 3D CGI art straight out of the 90s. It's very psychedelic.
Has that got keywords on? Is it a usable deck?
Yes. So this one says The Promise, Soulmates, Attraction, Partnerships.
Oh, that's kind of nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Why are all these cards back and forth? Third Eye Portal, Vision, Clairvoyance, Clarity, and Confusion.
What could do more? Third eye opening.
Empowerment. So it's very usable, but very 3D PlayStation
CGI.
demo,
Yeah,
CGI, Shadow Fox Tarot, all that. But I love it.
there's nothing wrong with it. I like it.
I like it a lot. I think it's really cute. Look, Commander Ashtar is even in there.
Oh, just
I
reminded
don't.
me.
It's very very cute, endearing. It reminds me of those posters you could get at the stoner shops way back when, remember in the 90s.
I've still got them in Camden now.
I used to always want them, and my mom was always like, "No," because I didn't know that it was kind of a stoner thing. I was like, "Ooh, dolphins and crystals." I don't know. It's just very very cute. I mean, once again, it's very camp. I can kind of see a pattern here. What I don't like though is, and I really hope Red Feather stop doing this, where they have this big ass box for a
Oh,
44
God.
card deck,
So annoying.
and then the guidebook is very
Yeah,
long and
I
has
know.
only like 60 pages. Like, no, don't do
Yes,
that.
annoying. I don't know why they don't compact it all down a bit. Like, talking of which, this is from Blue Angel. Now, don't get me started on Blue Angel and their fucking packaging, because it really pisses me off. You have the best box. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this is one I've recently acquired. And it's the Transcendent Journeys Oracle by Cheryl Yambrough Rose. And this kind of takes you to another dimension. I don't know what it is about a deck, but there's something endearing about them. I sent Levi two of them. So you've got like this is the new one. There's a Magdalena one coming out next week. So you've got Goddess of Love on there. You've got pictures of like Commander Ashtar and Arthur and Glastonbury and everything kind of. Yeah, Sandra, I know you do. It's lovely, in it? It is kind of like other dimension spiritual, but it's lovely, and that's another comfort deck, I think, because I wouldn't know about the Legend of the Spider Woman and I wouldn't even know the journey of Helmond was. But you've got the things on there saying keep going. And her artwork is absolutely incredible. Because did you know she starts with the eyes, Levi, first?
Yeah. I really love her artwork so much. Like those
Yeah,
decks you gifted me. She used to be published by US Games, and now she switched over to Blue Angel, and they did the Journey Through the Eyes of the Soul, this one, and the new Magdalene one, but they've never redone the art through the Star
no, they
Screen.
haven't, have they? And you've got like the Rising Phoenix there, the Hulk card, and you've got Glastonbury Tor on top of the tower on top of Glastonbury Tor. And I just love it. It's lovely, really, really well done. I need to. The only thing I will say about Cheryl Yambert Rose's artwork is the guidebooks are very, 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 very sparse. I would have liked to have seen like a better guidebook, I think, for these kind of decks.
A little bit. The
Yeah.
thing with her as well is, do you know how she like became tarot oracle famous?
No, I don't actually.
She was commissioned for a couple of Doreen Virtue decks. There's tons of Cheryl Yamberg Rose art sprinkled throughout, like a ton of them. So that's
Oh, I
kind of where
don't
she
know.
got her foot in the door, and then
Now look
that.
at that. Now this is really good. Now what a good excuse, which I shall obviously use. I use decks to educate me in the subject matter. Part of my justification for buying. Well, there you go. What a perfect example.
This is why I really love Lucy Cavendish decks. For example, in the Mermaid one she has, it's not just a guidebook where a stupid short introduction and then we very quickly jump into very generic card meanings. Where you have that doesn't happen with her. She explains a lot about the mermaids. It's almost like you're reading a little like novella about mermaids
Yeah, I
and their
like
lore.
that. I like stuff like that. I like to know like what's behind the artwork and where they've got it from. And I'll tell you which is a fabulous deck as well, which is up there and I can't get it. The one from I forgot what it's called. I'll have to do a walkthrough of it on my Oh God, yeah, on my YouTube. I forgot what it's a brilliant deck. I can't even remember what it's fucking called.
Are you having another mini stroke again?
Yeah, fucking hell. Right, I don't know what it's called, honestly. Anyway, swiftly moving on. What's your
What
next
about
deck?
this one?
I used to have that many, many moons ago.
So this is kind of not pretty per se, but it's really cute. It's by Chico Books, so a lot of people hate their production quality. I think it's fine. They've always lasted me the decks. This is a mermaids and dolphins deck, and it's kind of a two-parter where you'll have sort of two mini decks in one. So the card, oh, whoops, there go all the cards. Okay. So the cards that have the darker pink, the darker pink border will have sea creatures and dolphins and shit on there. And the cards
Right.
that have this more light border have all sorts of different types of mermaids on there.
So do you use it both together then?
Yeah, I use them both together, but you could very easily do a thing where you would say, hey, I want to have a message from a mermaid and from a dolphin. So you
Just have
could
to
use them
translate to the
separately.
mermaid messages.
But the art is kind of very unpolished, kind of 70s looking almost. Um, and I think it's really adorable. It isn't the most usable deck. The prose that is written on the cards is not necessarily the most telling. So, for example, this says the Vodyanoi sprite, the ebb and flow of the tide carries good tidings. So this one's actually a little bit easy,
Yeah, I know what you
but
mean.
sometimes it can get a little bit sometimes it can get a little bit difficult. I prefer a good poignant keyword, but it's a
Yeah,
cute one.
yeah. It's nice
There's
actually.
there's so many mermen in here as well. Like it's very diverse. It's really cool. I don't know. I like it a lot. I think it's really dope.
You should
Yeah.
do a merman deck the next time.
For me, oh
A
yeah,
mer
I have been thinking about this honestly because
There you
yeah,
go.
I'm currently working on a tarot, and there's already going to be like a couple of mermen in there. Not that many, but obviously the suit of cups is going to have to be the court of cups is going to have to be mermen. But I would love to do a full mermaid deck at one point. Yeah.
I hope it's going to be inclusive because you know what happens. Right, okay. Now, this one, I've had not this copy. I used to have the original copy. This is the new version. There's nothing changed. The Sacred Circle Tarot. And this is all based around the UK. And then I think some of the artwork was done in the early 60s. No, not really. In the early 90s, because it is very kind of photoshopped.
I think I may have seen this one before. Oh yeah,
But
that one.
also very endearing and very usable. You've got the keyword on the top, and you've also got a big ass guidebook with it. I just saw this bondage, and who don't like a bit of bondage, you know? So
I can
there you go.
imagine you walking into a store in the 90s and go being like, wow, this is so new.
It is. It was brilliant back in the day, and it's still good now. I mean, the guidebook especially. This what now it doesn't come with a big guidebook, just a stupid little pamphlet. But it is lovely.
It's
It's one of
really
them
cool.
very nice kind of like, when tarot started to think outside the box a bit. 'Cause this was in the 90s, I think. But yeah, it's another super cool deck that I couldn't part with.
It's really cool. Like especially now we are very much focused on either very new things or very old things like from the
Yeah,
60s and 70s. But there's something really charming about these 90s decks that kind of made me go like, I don't know, probably because I was still very young in the 90s, but I remember it like it was yesterday. So that time period and the aesthetic of that time period is so ingrained into my brain that I automatically just like it.
well, the reason why I remember them so profoundly is because I was a hot mess on drugs and drink, and I used to use them all the time to help me get me out of the most shittiest situations you can imagine.
Fab.
So Always been a classy one, me. Yes.
Vintage versus antique decks. Yes, very much that.
Very much
Um,
that, yeah.
I have another one actually right here. It's the Hummingbird
Oh,
Wisdom
yeah.
Oracle.
Now, do you
What?
know, I looked at that, and I don't know, I love it. I love the artwork, but I don't know whether how usable it is.
It's very much an affirmation type deck.
I thought it was, yeah.
And this is another one that features a lot of CGI looking artwork, as you can see.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit rough in it.
It's a bit rough, yeah. I mean, and I mean, before people get on their high horse, we are allowed to say stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah, we are.
some
Yeah.
of the art in this deck is a bit more ornate than others. For example, this is pretty nice,
It looks
right?
like it's been done by two different artists, has it?
Yeah, like these look very different. Then again, Jasmine was working on like six different decks at the same time. So it's
Oh,
kind of a situation, same with the Sacred Forest Oracle, a little bit, Martin.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well, some cards are really lovely and others are not so. I know what you
yeah,
mean.
but I'm really glad that I got it. I
Pretty
like
though.
how,
I must say it is pretty. I like the aesthetic of it.
yeah,
Got vintage in it.
yeah, it's very, once again, it's sort of, back to the 90s. I'm sure if this would have been released back then, like in the early 2000s in that Doreen era, this would have been one of those classics that all the grannies still use nowadays,
But
like.
I think back then when it was all fresh and new, the decks was a lot more interesting than what they are now. Um,
Yeah, I was actually talking to Carts by Dortje on Instagram today, and I was like, "Have
yeah.
you been experiencing that similar thing where you're kind of like meh?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've kind of had that too, where I'm kind of like I'm not blown away that much anymore. Like I'm honestly blown away more by this than by most other things that I've seen
Yeah,
come
it's
out."
a funny one, is it? Because like I mean, sometimes I mean, I had a chat with Sandra yesterday, and we were talking about like some of the different decks, like because we're basically the same age, and so we remember, the decks that was available then. Do you buy decks on aesthetic for self or for using for others? I don't really use for others now, Tony. Mine's all about myself, of course, and Instagram. And
But we
uh,
do. I think both of us do. Oh, hey, Danny. I think both of us do like using decks that are usable, if
they
that
have to
makes
be
sense.
usable. I mean, I have gone for the aesthetic vibe before, and it's just completely unusable. Like I recently sent that. What was that one, Levi, with the little dragons on the flowers?
Oh, the Enchanted Blossoms.
That was absolutely dreadful to you. You couldn't use it as a deck. All the cards looked the same. There was no rhyme or reason behind any of the flowers or the dragons. And I thought, well, what a sad missed opportunity. So I sent it back. So that
Yeah,
was an
and then
aesthetically beautiful deck, but
yeah,
completely unusable. Yeah.
it's kind of the same with another one by US Games that's really pretty. I forgot the name. You sent it me once. It has really cool artwork, but then I'm going to look it up really quickly. I forgot the name. It's absolutely stunning art, very vibrant, very modern. But it's also very unusable in the sense that it has card titles that are kind of like, I have it. It's the Oracle of Light and Dreams. Shall I prop it onto the
Oh,
screen?
yeah. Pop it onto the screen.
Yeah, I'll share it with y'all. Share screen. Yeah, I know how to share my screen. Yes, I know how to share my screen. Once again, I know how it works. Oh no, that's my own. Whoops. This one, the Oracle of Light. Can you see it, Martin?
I can see, but like I remember the keywords and I just don't match the cards and I
Yeah,
suspect I
it's
remember
stunning
instant.
art, but I can't. So this would be one of those decks where I'm like, yeah, this is aesthetics, but I can't work with it. So this image and the word Catwoman does nothing for me personally, but that's
No, no, man.
it's very personal. Or this image, Magnolias, doesn't do anything
You
for me.
can't use that in a reading for somebody, you've got to like know what everything means. Kingfisher, I mean, what does a kingfisher actually mean?
I have
Um,
seen decks like this with weird keywords like this, where you could kind of sort of devise from the art and how it was depicted what the meaning of the card was, if you get what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah, I know.
But I do love it. I love the imagery.
The
So yeah,
artwork is absolutely gorgeous, but like as a deck, you just could not use it at all.
it's for me it's not usable because I don't like having to be dependent on the guidebook to get a message from it.
No, no, mate. I've got
I
one
mean,
last deck to show you all anyway. No,
yeah,
we've had decks like that before, haven't we? Where we've just said no, we can't use them.
yeah. For example, some of Alana Fairchild's decks do this a little bit.
Oh, don't
Um,
start me on her with that white light thing.
it's
Yeah,
stunning.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's the
yeah,
twelve
and
thousand hertz.
yeah, the Shekinah of 345 hertz. Yeah,
What
it's
the
pretty.
fuck? Yeah, it's pretty. That's about it now. This is a guilty. This is a guilty purchase. Where is he? Fucking here I am again. Right, I started actually took it out the wrapper when I was talking to Sandra yesterday. And this is this is right. Now there's a card in this box, right? In this deck. Who does this look like? You've got to tell me who this looks like. Because I'm not going to be your friend anymore, right? Because I got this card out this deck and I thought, wow, that looks like. Let me find the card for you first. Uh
I'm already laughing, and I don't even know why. Like,
is that Eric Cantona or is that Eric Cantona?
did you get that deck?
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
I
The
did,
new
but
Sandra and
look,
Taylor one?
yeah, but look. Have you seen him before
Yeah, I like him.
on about 30 other decks? Yeah,
I mean, would 10 out of 10 would bang. Can I say that?
yeah, but you have got like talent guides.
They're pretty stock photo-y. I was a bit disappointed with the look of this one because, this one is cute because it was from 2010, but now it's 2022 and yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But it's cute.
stock photo.
I don't like that one. I don't
What
like
does
that one. Oh yeah, we were supposed to be positive. Shit, I love it. It's such a good deck.
we are being positive. It's just when we and you together in it. It's a bit of a nightmare.
You know
Ascending
what Danny
Masters.
just said?
What did you
Those
say?
decks are very good if you want the deck just for their artwork, which is exactly why I got the
Yeah,
White Light Oracle because I really
divine. That's
wanted
the
to
energy,
get Energy Spirit. Yeah,
energy
it
spirit.
is. It's really cute. I might get it as well um, once I have my life back.
See, we
I,
was
I
talking
I
about.
wanted to get an art print by that guy who did the art for the White Light Oracle, but I was like, I can get an art print of his for $20, or I could get a whole deck with 44 different art prints, only a bit smaller for $25. Which am I going to pick? It's very
Exactly.
easy.
Can I ask you a question? Is that Susie? Is that one of the things in Susie's deck?
No, it's not. No.
No. Okay.
Another example of a mass market deck that kind of has that same aesthetic as I'm going to show you
We're
really
actually
quickly.
look.
So another Oracle deck that kind of has the aesthetic of this deck, the Oracle of Light and Dreams, is the Fairy Temple Oracle by Susie Cherub. But what's really funny about that deck, I'm going to show it to you really quickly, is that can we get some close up of the cards? Yes, is that the actual like cards are oh, I'm actually on a web store now. That's really interesting. Okay. Oh, it's actually on sale on this website. In the
Okay.
actual art, this art looks kind of similar, but every little symbol is explained in the guidebook. So you'll see plants and animals surrounding that fairy, and it's not just there for aesthetics. It's all explained why it's there, and then you have these really usable keywords. Like that's all I want in an Oracle deck, kind of.
Tony, stop lying. You know you're going to go on straight onto Amazon when you finish this live and order them all. Right.
Very much so. This is another one of those decks,
Oh,
Martin.
do you know I just can't with that deck. I don't know what it is.
Um, it's a really I don't know. I like it a lot. This is a very this is a deck for Debbie Downers because most of the keywords in this are very negative,
It's
hard
just a
hitting.
depressing deck.
It's very depressing. Yeah. The art is very of its time. When Rockpool started doing Oracle decks, they were kind of a little stuck in the past. Right now, they're probably the most interesting mass market publisher out there, but in terms of what they're releasing and doing. But this is very, I don't know, it's very, once again, camp and very depressing. I love this romance novel cover that's in there.
It is very depressing. And I'll tell you what else reminds me. What I can't use, get my head around, is the Sacred Rebels Oracle. I've had it twice and I just can't use it.
It's really funny. This artwork was done by, oh, they don't mention it on the box, so it's not important. Anyway.
Well, yeah, fuck the artist.
And what's
Um,
really funny is that whenever like there are no men in it except when a romantic relationship is involved. Then men are allowed to show up.
oh, of course. Let me show you something now. If I've still got it here. Oh, I have. Now this is camp, right? Because it's just reminded me. I'm sure it's the same artist. This is the Saints and Mystics.
Shall we check if it is? Because I'm going to have to look in the guidebook for it.
Wait till
The
you see this deck.
about the
Right
author.
there's the artist. Wesley Souza.
No, right here it's Chris Ortega and Drazenka Kimple.
Right, okay. So you've got St. Josephine release. Right now, this is camp.
This deck is pure camp.
This is pure like 90s horror movie vibes.
It's kind of 90s sexy softcore porn horror movie vibes.
It's absolutely vile.
I love it though.
Have you got this?
No, did you know that this is by the same guy that did the Pure Magic Oracle for them?
I don't like that either. Yeah, hang on. What put me right off? Right, was this one? I just thought I just can't with this deck. First of all, his head looks like it's disjointed from his body.
That's because it is, because almost every male model that's in this deck at least is actually from a stock photo. From a couple
Oh,
of stock
that's what
photos.
it is then.
There's a
There's one.
guy in here that is also in the Tarot de la Nuit. Remember when we compared the two?
Yeah, look at the size of that baby's head.
But honestly, I want him to destroy my pussy.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean.
But this lighting isn't doing me any favors. Maybe I should hold the laptop like this so I look a bit prettier. It's been a rough day, guys. Sorry, I just can't.
There's a card in here, and I'm sure it's a nun or something, and it's got fucking nail varnish on, and I thought, what's that?
Yeah, it's the actual box cover, Martin.
Is it the box cover? There's only
Yeah.
about 32 cards in here. I've never kind of vibed with this at all. It's just this is probably one of the worst purchases I've ever had in the known history of me buying decks.
It's really cute though. Honestly, I love it. It's
But
really
it's
cute.
winking its way over to you then.
Really? Honestly? Okay.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
you can
really
have
do.
it with pleasure. But the box is nice anyway. And the guidebook. But yeah, you can have that.
I do like it a lot. I do. Shall I check the cupboard if I have some more? Because I may have some more
I ain't got
fun ones here.
no more hidden gems, I don't think, to show you all. tonight. I've actually bought
I
the.
don't have any other ones downstairs.
Let me just tell the guys about my purchase what I've had today, and see if I can say it without laughing.
Tell
The
me,
rose, the rosebud tarot.
did you have it come in? Did you already try it out?
It's here. It's in the house. Yeah, yeah,
Is it
yeah.
inside of you already or not?
I just can't, Levi. I just can't. Honestly, don't.
I don't get why you got that, but you know.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
The card stock is like linen kind of pagan other worlds. And but it's just the name of the deck. I'm sorry. It's got an all different meaning to us in it, Levi.
You know what I got? I got this in today. As seen in Scary Movie 2,
What's that?
it's the rabbit, the strong hand.
Have you bought that? Look at that.
You know what a rabbit is, right?
Oh no. Have you bought it?
I bought it for Danny.
And Mel and Tony.
You know, it's iconic.
Look, the dildos are on us.
I think it's time we called it a day. Right?
Oh my God, we love you all so much. Who wants the gland of glory on their pussy? Mel just said.
I've just noticed something. I'm actually like legitly looking. I almost look like that guy, but with less hair. Like I look dreadful.
Well, Mel, I've never been a girl to say no, so
Martin says yes to everything.
you got to
Can
grab it
I
when you can at my age, love.
can I quickly show a little something before
Hang
we
on,
leave?
hang on, hang on. Can we quickly just say something? Right. The fact of the matter is, right, we've been talking about everybody else's decks for over an hour, and we ain't mentioned yours on Kickstarter.
That's exactly what I was about to do. I really wanted to quickly show the Kickstarter on screen because it's
Right.
doing quite well. Actually, we're already at 1,503 euros, which is quite a lot. We're over a
That's
quarter
absolutely
in.
real.
Yeah, we're over a quarter in, and it's only the second day, so that's amazing. But
It's amazing.
I really, really want to get this funded. So even if you're not that into the deck, but you like me as a person, you could also just pledge without a reward to make this happen. Because I think it's really important that we do get very good, balanced, well thought out Oracle decks out there.
And we are all incredibly proud of you.
I know. I just really loved creating this, and I just wanted to do a quick like, hey, showing my deck.
Well, I think you're well within your rights too. And talking of decks, so we've got Alex's deck finishing in a few hours' time as well.
You know what was
Tony,
really, you know what was really cute, Martin? Lisa Papez, she featured my deck in her video, but she also featured Alex's, and she was like, "This is such a good deck. Why hasn't this been funded yet?"
I can't understand it either. And Lisa's lovely. And I can't understand like why the nicer decks are not getting funded. Yet they'll fund something with the bloody Simpsons on, but there you go.
Well, people can fund whatever they want to fund, of
Yeah, they
course.
can, they can, they can. But listen, guys, thank you. Tony, I done a step-by-step video the other day. Right, wait, hang on. Okay, before we go. Right, okay, sorry about this, guys. Now, this is for anybody who has trouble sharing anything on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open my phone there, and there's my feed. So we click on that one there, the second one across, which is the moon one, and you click on the little arrow there.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You do. You click on the little arrow there, and it's got add to your story. So you click add to your story, and in the top corner, you've got like a little, what is that, Levi, anyway? Like that little
A little
symbol.
sticker icon,
Like
basically.
a little sticker, and you click on the sticker, and it's got mention across
Yeah.
the top. So all you do is click on mention, and then when you start typing the names, like say Levi's is already there and Danny's, because I share their stuff all the time. So whoever you want to mention, you can either scroll across to your contacts, or
Or
you can
type
type
it.
the first letter of the name and it comes up. And then all you
Yeah, and
do is click on
when you
done.
click that sticker icon, you can also put other people's links in there, all kinds of crap.
Yeah. This is just what I'll do as well. I'll send a video again. And I might do a little walkthrough actually and show people what to do more. But like it's easy, but obviously we've been doing it for a long time. It's not easy for anybody who hasn't really done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do a little. I'll do a little video on that later for everybody. Anyway, thanks guys. We love you all. This has been super fun, super lovely. Please do what you can to help Levi get his share his shit.
It
That
will be
is
amazing, guys. I mean, I'm never one to plug myself, but buy it, bitches.
That's the affirmation for this week. Share that shit, right? So,
And back that shit.
and back that shit. Share and back the shit. So, thanks, guys. We love you all, and we'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching, supporting with all your love, and you're all fucking on the water, and you're all absolutely amazing. Love
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.